This is a motion picture about alcoholism. The illness and eventual tragedy of over 6.5 million American men and women is a known fact. And when a person with alcoholism is no longer able or no longer cares to hide the fact, we find it easy to recognize him. But this film is not about the easily recognized victim of alcoholism. It is about the alcoholic who might work alongside you every day. The alcoholic in industry carries no sign or banner proclaiming his disease. Yet he makes up over 3% of America's working force. Perhaps he has not even identified himself as yet with alcoholism. But who is the alcoholic in industry? Can a set of criteria be defined? Is there a way to be sure? There is no easy answer. Alcoholism chooses no job level as an easy mark. It is a personal disease of the human being, not influenced by internal company lines. The important point is that any office and any department can contain an employee with alcoholism. Each supervisor with a suspected case of employee alcoholism is faced with a moment of decision at some point. He must face the problem head on. He must act. Industrial alcoholism is part of a great and national problem. Over 6.5 million American men and women suffer from alcoholism. In each case, society loses a valued member, and industry loses a valued member of its vital working team. When an employee no longer functions effectively, alcoholism could be the cause, but so could many other factors. Regardless of cause, each man and woman with job skill and knowledge is worth helping. It is for this reason that industry has established comprehensive programs to deal with alcoholism. And no one is closer and more intimately involved, professionally and personally, than the alcoholic supervisor.
Let's speed up the calendar, Bob. You're running too slow.
Dealing with the alcoholic employee is often difficult for the supervisor. Instructions are forgotten. Excuses are made. Performance slips. Standards are lowered. Reason vanishes.
I'll be right back, Chip.
There are few of us who turn our backs on someone afflicted with a disease. And alcoholism is a disease.
Gee, I had no idea he drank so much.
For every case in your shop, plant, or office, you can count on a family that has suffered. You can count on unhappiness, pain, misery, and debt.
Well, you know she had to go back to work, didn't you? We've gone past the house and it's all run down.
And in most cases, you cannot expect help from the family.
And I just don't understand with this.
As hard as they may try, they too are caught up in their provider's whirl of alcoholism.
The effect that this is having on those children.
It's a hard and unhappy world for all concerned. Can an employee with alcoholism be helped and made useful again to his family, his company, and society? It has been proven time and again that he can be rehabilitated to perform his job effectively and enjoy a useful life. The alcoholic can stop drinking. Cured? No, he's never cured. But he can arrest his drinking problem. It's never easy. Drinking and living become one. It's truly a progressive disease. The alcoholic must make a decision to stop drinking. This decision, and strength to make it, can only come with strong motivation. And often the threat of job loss can bring about that needed motivation. How do you know a man has alcoholism? In most cases, you don't. But he may know. From necessity, he's learned to hide his disease. He's the expert, not you. It isn't the supervisor's role to diagnose a man's slipping job performance as alcoholism, regardless of the outward symptoms. As a supervisor, your only concern is the performance of his given job. The first step is to document the man's slipping job performance. This step would be taken in any situation, regardless of the cause of the inefficiency. Tangible signs of a problem should be carefully recorded and preserved. At times, a suspected alcoholic will show no outward signs of a problem. Other times, signs will be subtle as relationships with others. Nothing should be overlooked in your documentation. It should be as complete as possible. The employee with alcoholism must of necessity provide protection for himself. Usually his skill at this will successfully mask any outward signs of the actual drinking problem. Once a case has been built and documented on an employee, the supervisor is then faced with the task of calling the man to present the facts. This is never an easy task to face, especially when a likable employee with many years' service is involved.
Robert Stevens, dial 734. Robert Stevens, dial 734.
But the fact that he is likable and has been with the company for a long period of time is even more reason for the supervisor to take this, the second step, in dealing with the alcoholic employee.
Jim? Bob?
Step in a minute, will you?
Yeah. I'll be over.
He must now confront the man with the facts. His performance has slipped. He must be told this.
Come in, Bob.
It isn't easy. It never is.
Bob, I wish we didn't have to have this discussion, but...
What discussion do you mean, Jim?
Well, it's about your work, Bob.
My work?
A time of tension for both men.
Well, you're one of my best men,
But one technique makes things easier for the supervisor. At no time will he bring up alcoholism, heavy drinking, or other related comments. He need never step out of his familiar role as supervisor.
For instance, just your absenteeism and your lateness.
Excuse me, Jim. That was, do you remember it was 2 or 3 minutes at a time? And
It doesn't make any difference if it's 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah, do you remember when I was sick a couple of days? That's the only time I can remember.
Look at here's the attendance record for the past 6 months. Late 7 times, absent 9 times. There it is, right there. Now, it's not only that. The plant production has been up, and in your department, production has been down.
My section's been down?
Yes, your section has been down, and you've been told about it several times. How about the equipment breakdown in your department?
What equipment breakdown?
Right here, right in the record here. The equipment breakdown in your department has been way over the other departments. With you, I can't seem to get to you. I talk to you for a few minutes, and you walk away. Now, what kind of a supervision is that? You've got a lot of men underneath you.
I get along very well with my men. The men have a lot of respect for me. I get along with everybody.
Maybe they're walking all over you.
Jim,
Your safety standards have slipped.
Jim.
You're constantly off of the floor.
Jim.
Now, wait a minute, here's another thing. It may seem unimportant to you, but your personal appearance. You know, you come in, you're not shaved half the time. Now, look at...
Look, I told you I wasn't feeling well, Jim. You don't...
But it has come to this. If you have a problem, let me know about it, and maybe we'll see if we can do something about
I
it.
don't have any problem. Look, Jim, I know I've been late a few times, and I haven't come in. I told you I was sick, but, all right, there were a couple of breakdowns in the shop. I admit that. I'll be glad to solve those problems for you.
Now, look at... Let's stop kicking this around. If we don't get at what's bothering you, I've got to let you go. That is final.
What do you want me to do?
I would like for you to see some people in the company. Let's start with the medical department. After all, you've been with the company 10 years. So have I. Maybe a little longer. They want to help you. They just don't want to bounce you out like that.
Now, when do I have to go?
Well, I'd say the sooner the better. Now, how about it, Bob?
All right, I mean, if you...
He's been given the chance.
I'll do it.
The supervisor has taken the right step.
You must realize that this is nothing personal.
Well, I know that, Jim.
I've known you for a long time. But believe me, it's best for everybody concerned. Everybody. Okay?
Okay.
All right. We'll let it go at that then, huh? And thanks for coming in.
Hopefully, he'll follow your lead and see someone in the medical department, or when one isn't available, a company-designated local physician.
Medical?
The supervisor informs the doctor about the suspected alcoholic. He outlines the facts in his documentation. The doctor is now prepared to deal with the problem. It's up to the man now. Not everyone will be helped. Many don't want help of any sort. But over 50% referred to medical will be helped. No one is too far gone not to come back.